Hello and welcome back to Everything Boats with Captain Frank Lanier, where we discuss boats and boating, from maintenance and repairs to seamanship and safety, as well as everything in between. This podcast is a companion to my YouTube channel of the same name, so if you like and find it useful, be sure to subscribe and please check out my YouTube channel as well, where you'll find hundreds of informative videos on pretty much every boating topic imaginable. So today's podcast is based on a segment of my YouTube channel called Ask Captain Frank. And this is where I take questions from my YouTube channel viewers, customers of my marine survey business, or just people randomly calling me up trying to get me to answer shit for free. Today's topic is going to be vessel lists. We've got a guy that's having a problem with his boat listing and he wants me to try to help him out. And so that's what we're going to try to do. So I'm going to be reading this from my email that I sent to him just to make sure I paraphrase it right, because I can't remember what I had for breakfast this morning, but I can certainly read stuff right in front of me. So here we go. Dear Captain Frank, we have a 1992 24-foot Explorer Grady White. I find that it lists a lot in heavier waters. Our trim tabs don't seem to solve the problem. Is this normal? Because it's a fairly narrow boat. We love it except for this issue. So here's what old Captain Frank said. That's me, by the way. There's a number of things that would be good to know while we're trying to troubleshoot your problem here, but one of the basics would be, is the boat level? Is it on an even keel, no list, port and starboard, good trim fore and aft, when in a stationary or static position? In other words, is it floating properly when your boat's not moving? If the boat is even slightly out of trim in a static position, then that's going to be amplified when you increase the speed of the boat. You give it more throttle, you get up to speed. Or if you're in heavier weather, bigger seas, whatever, all that's going to amplify a boat that's out of trim in a static position. Now, how do you try to get your boat into trim in a static position? Well, first thing you do is the simplest thing is adjust the weight you have on board. You can shift people around, you can move coolers, portable gas tanks, any stuff like that to try to get the boat where it's in proper trim at a static position. You got to start from that position. Achieving stationary trim is one thing, but you'll also need to make adjustments while underway to account for things such as vessel speed, water conditions, direction of travel with regards to wave and wind. Smaller boats will ride bumpier in surface chop if left trimmed at calm water angles. You'll also want to monitor vessel trim throughout the day. Some things have changed, such as the amount of fuel you have in your tanks, other things that can affect your trim, food being consumed, or the ice in your cooler melting, things along those lines can affect your trim. So you want to be aware of those and adjust your trim accordingly. Another thing you want to check is proper operation of your trim tabs. I mean, do they actually work? A lot of times I'll do surveys on power boats, and you can hear the trim tab actuator motor power up, but the trim tabs themselves don't deploy. So that will be another thing you want to check to make sure that your trim tabs that you have on board are actually working. Finally, if you have the original factory installed trim tabs, which I believe are about 12 inches, installing larger trim tabs or upgrading to larger trim tabs may also be an option. Larger trim tabs, of course, when they're deployed, present more surface area and give you more control over your trim as you're underway at higher speeds particularly. A common rule of thumb calls for choosing roughly 1 inch of trim tab span for every foot of boat length. So in this case, what are we, 24 foot? Then the span would be about 24 inches. I hope you enjoyed today's podcast. And if so, and you want to buy Captain Frank a cup of coffee, please click on the support link in the text description below. All monies received, not spent on coffee, will go towards making even more awesome podcasts for my channel. And as always, thank you for your support.